What is up, people? Happy day. It's podcast day. Podcast day number 3. We got Brandy. Brandy, what's up, girl?
Hey.
How's it
how
going?
we doing?
Good. This is the Scoop Weddings Unveiled. As I said, podcast number 3. Today's topic is how to pick your dream team.
Yes.
So how to pick the best vendors for you.
Yes.
Specifically for you.
For you. Very important.
Because it's different for everybody.
Absolutely.
But before we get into how to pick your dream team, I would like to ask you, Brandy, how was your weekend this past weekend? Did you have any events? Did you have anything going on?
We had some events at the Bishop. So we had, I believe, 2 weddings this weekend. So that was good on Saturday and Sunday. And I had Oslo Rep there on the Thursday of last week. They did a play in our planetarium, which was really good. It was looking for Ithaca. So it was a great overall weekend of events and internal events. And I turned a year older.
Oh,
On
shoot.
Saturday.
It's your birthday.
It's my birthday.
And a year ago, we did your 90s themed birthday party at the Bishop,
Yes,
which was absolutely amazing.
It was fun. I was looking at all the pictures and the videos, and I was oh, that was so much fun. I will say that my husband threw me a surprise party this year, and I was completely shocked and surprised. I had no clue, and it was a doozy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have been there.
I know.
But I personally had 8 weddings. Not personally, but my team and I had 8 weddings this past weekend. So
Just 8.
A little busy.
A little busy.
But so it was your birthday party.
Yeah.
Where'd you guys go?
So they lied to me and told me that my husband was sick. Well, my husband pretended to be sick and couldn't take me to dinner.
Yes, I was on the
text thread. I read all of that. Only one person was really rooting to not prank me. So shout out to you, Nate. But so they pranked me. My son and his girlfriend took me to dinner, and then everybody pulled up in a party bus. And
didn't he have the bus driver come in and say that
Yes.
he was in a car accident?
Yes.
That's horrible.
That's horrible. And
That
I
is the
told him,
worst.
I don't know how many times I punched him.
Yeah,
or
I don't blame you.
I was, and the driver saw my face, and he couldn't keep it up for more than 20 seconds because I was like, I need you to be honest with me because my husband jokes a lot. He's a big jokester.
Oh, yeah.
And he's good at it. That's the bad part is he's so good. He faked being sick so well that I fell for it. And I was like, I can't believe I fell for all of this.
Yeah, I got in the text thread. It said, "All right,
First step.
First step, pretending to be sick."
Yeah, he took
Is it
water
go?
and was trying to pretend to throw up in the bathroom, because he has a chicken and turkey allergy. So he used the fact that we went to brunch and said he got cross contaminated.
Oh my gosh.
To play it all off. And so the driver comes in and he's like, I'm so sorry, but your husband was trying to get here for your birthday. You know, he couldn't make it because he wasn't feeling well, and he tried to get here and there was an accident. And my face must have said it all.
I don't blame you.
And I was like, you've got to I need you to be 100% honest with me. I know my husband jokes a lot, but this, no.
That's the worst possible.
I know. My husband made him do it. I'm like, you earned your gratuity times 10, sir. He goes, I'm sorry. I can't lie to you. I just need you to go outside. And I still just thought he was going to be outside with balloons and flowers or whatever. No, he brought a whole bus. A whole bus of people.
Party bus.
Yep, we went to Baja Hut.
Baja Hut.
Yes.
People, if you guys have not been, if you guys are coming from out of state and you are visiting Sarasota, go to the Baja Hut. It is a literally a hole in the street. It's not even a hole in the wall. It's
like a tiny hut.
It's a tiki hut. That was built in the 50s.
Yes.
And it has not been renovated since.
Nope.
And it's right next to a motel.
Yes. The hotel's great. That's got a whole new vibe too.
I don't know.
Hollywood 50. It's nice. It's been remodeled.
Nice.
It is
putting it nicely.
Well, it is nice. So the rooms are cool. They're very retro themed, but you're only allowed 2 sneaky tikis or 2 Mai Tais.
Mai Tais is what they are known for.
They're so strong. I did not have either of those. I had one of their fun other cocktails, but
the Mai Tais literally taste like
straight alcohol.
Gasoline.
151.
Gasoline.
Set it on fire.
Yeah. I remember going there. It was a few years ago. It was with a group, like a big group of people. We took a trolley.
Yeah.
And my sister was part of this, and she and I, whenever we get together, if we get to go out, she and I are just too fun. And I remember, like, they have the drinks.
Yeah.
We had our first drink, and it was like really strong, obviously. And then they were like, all right, we're gonna get a second round for everybody.
Second round.
Okay. And the kicker here was, we didn't eat dinner.
Oh.
Worst idea ever. Worst.
I mean, you got to pregame. Like, you got to know that you're walking into something like this.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
and we were we were thinking, oh, okay, yeah, it's
Two
like
drinks. No
two
big deal.
drinks, but we knew that, okay, it's Baja Hut. But they had little pretzels. So I was munching on them. And so we're sitting there just, as we're sitting here.
That doesn't actually work,
Yeah,
right?
probably not. That's fine. At least it was coating our stomachs for there.
It was a mental game at that point.
I think I drank 1.5. My sister drank, I think, 1.5 as well. And we both stood up and tumbled out of the bar.
Yes, and you can't, you better have an Uber, arrange for a driver, have a DD.
Right.
You shouldn't drink and drive anyway. However, in this instance, you can't just say, hey, let's go out for one drink and be okay. This one drink compared to going somewhere else is not the same.
We went from there, we went out to the Ritz Beach Club.
Okay,
because they have
ended
a little
up at Gator Club.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
We went to the Ritz Beach Club, and I don't remember anything after that. I know we ended up going down to Siesta Key, like the village, but my sister was done by 8 p.m.
Oh, God.
We started at 5.
We didn't start until almost 9.
Yeah.
And I love a good surprise, but I wished I had been able to because for brunch I had 2 double mimosas. So I didn't hydrate properly.
You had no idea what was going on.
And I'm like, man, I really should have hydrated. But after we got to Gator Club, I don't remember much after that. Yeah. But I got home. I remember that.
That's good.
The bus driver did his thing.
Yep. So Baja Hut. You
Yes.
need, if you are coming from out of town, and
It's a great bachelor or bachorette party place too.
to start. Not, I mean, you're going to get there and you're like, what in the world is this place?
Yeah.
You're
You're gonna wonder
gonna
even
step
how to
back
walk
into
in
time.
the door because the door's very.
Yeah, you're going to step back into time. And I would say plan to be there for no more than an hour.
Yep.
That's all you need.
Exactly.
Get in and get out and move on with your night.
Or you won't leave. You'll just be stuck there drunk, sitting. You'll just be sitting.
It is a Sarasota staple.
It is.
Right, and it's right by, if you guys don't know where it is, it's right by, it's very close. It's just south of the Sarasota Bradenton Airport.
Yep.
On 41.
Yep. On the right hand side.
Well, it depends on which way. If you're going south, it's on the right hand side.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Baja Hut, that's cool. Good place to go. So you
Yeah.
went to Baja Hut, then you went to Gator Club downtown.
Yeah.
And
then home.
And then home.
Because that's
Solid.
all I needed.
Solid. We had 8 weddings and events this past weekend.
Yes.
Again, we're in November right now, so
Woo.
November is a very, very busy month for weddings and events. We were at Lakewood Ranch Country Club. We were at Plantation Golf and Country Club. Mixins twice on Friday and Sunday.
Oh, geez.
Rafter J Ranch. And actually, if anybody's done a wedding or heard of Rafter J Ranch, it was actually their last wedding that they're doing there.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know they were closing.
The owners are older and they don't want to do it anymore.
I mean,
I don't blame
feel
them.
that. I'm
But
retired and
the
I'm
fact
not
that
old yet.
the owners would constantly tell me or my team or any DJ really to turn the music down. Like, how are you gonna have a wedding venue and then have a party
Yeah.
and tell us to turn the music? You know what's happening.
Yeah.
So
Well,
beautiful venue, but they really handcuff the entertainment side,
Yeah.
the DJs, from being able to do our job properly.
I understand that it is cumbersome to the DJs and the entertainment side. And if you're at Rafter J Ranch, doesn't seem like there would be any complications
Because it's out in
regarding
BFE.
Exactly. So at the Bishop, though, however, we do have a limitation because we have a manatee habitat that is directly connected to the courtyard.
What are the decibels for that?
75.
75, but that's
here's the thing: it's at the tank, not 75 from your speakers.
Right,
and
that's a big
typically, if
difference.
you just turn the speakers, it will cut down on the decibels, or just cut the bass down just a little, because we are rehabilitating, animals that are on the.
And you shouldn't have a speaker pointing at
No.
that tank anyway.
Yeah, like I just have to walk up to the DJs and be like, I'm just gonna go ahead and turn this a little. But out there, you've got like no issues. Like there's like even at Mixon's, like the noise ordinance. I mean, some neighbors call. I think there was only a few times where we had cops show up because the neighbors were calling, and that was when it was a quince, and it's that like that constant beat of bass that doesn't stop for 5 hours. That can get a bit much.
Well,
but
and again, we're at Rafter J Ranch is in Parrish, out east in BFE.
Yeah.
And there's a couple other venues that are out there. There's like Diamond Sea Ranch is like a country like barn venue. There's also another place called Lone Oak Acres.
Yeah.
And I remember packing up this past weekend, and the gentleman, I don't know his name. Let's just call him Steve. I feel like his name is Steve. Steve, the owner, was riding around. I'm like, thanks, Steve. Like, have a great night. He's like, hey, you hear that that music? And I had to really listen hard. And I didn't really hear any, like, you could hear a little bit of music.
Yeah.
I said, oh, yeah, what's that? He's like, yeah, that's Lone Oak Acres. I'm like, okay. How far is that? He's like, that's about 6 miles. So if we can hear that, then imagine how we hear the music here. I'm like, dude, that's, first of all.
Do they live on property?
Who?
Yeah,
they live right on the property.
Well,
that's their own fault.
That's a no.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's a
what you
beautiful,
signed up for.
Yeah, it's a beautiful venue.
Yeah.
It's sad that.
What are they doing next?
They're just, I mean, they're retired. They don't want to do it anymore. They got a camper. They got a camper. They're going to travel.
Yeah. Let somebody else manage it. Don't stay there. Don't stay on property. Yeah. Let the music continue.
So Rafter J Ranch. The cool thing is I actually did their very first wedding.
Oh, look at that.
And I did their very last. So
look at you.
Look at me. We were also at UTC. They had their Santa arrival.
How was that?
It was weird.
What?
I mean, I wasn't there, but I got to.
Weird.
Well, so. Carlos, one of my DJs, he was there.
Yeah.
There were 2 other DJs. So there was like 3 roundabouts.
Okay.
Outside. You know where those 3 roundabouts are at
outside.
UTC? Yeah, outside.
Okay.
So they had a DJ at each roundabout for the
People don't
parade.
know how to drive around those roundabouts.
Well, it was
alone.
for the parade though.
Oh, okay.
Because there was a parade.
I was gonna say people don't know how
but
to
he
use
took
those
video,
anyway.
and there was like nobody by him. I felt kind of bad, but whatever.
He must have been at the far.
He was at
end
the south end.
of the roundabouts.
Yeah. Right before. Yeah. So, UTC Santa arrival. We had that this past weekend. We were also at Longboat Key Resort and Baker's. That was this past weekend, and then this weekend we've got Wine, Women, and Shoes.
Yeah.
That one's gonna be fun.
Tell me about that. What is that about?
I don't. It's
a fundraiser.
It's a fundraiser for 40 Carats.
Oh yeah. Okay. That's a great organization.
It is for like families and parents and so forth.
Yeah, that's great.
Yep. So this is my first year doing it. I've heard many things, and I'm very nervous.
I hear that like the shoe game is on point.
Okay.
Like, yeah, wine, women, and shoes.
Yep.
Like, and I feel like I may have heard that they do a lot of raffles of really great shoes too.
I believe I have 20 pages of a timeline.
Oh,
a 20-page timeline.
On point then for sure.
So and everything, they are very particular. And so...
And they've done it so many times that it's like, this is what works.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
So, I know nothing.
Have fun. Women, wine, and shoes. What could go wrong? Nothing.
So right. So
it's going to be great.
Wine, Women, and Shoes. We also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 events and weddings this weekend. It's a little bit less, but still a busy weekend. But so Wine, Women, and Shoes. We have a wedding at Longboat Key Resort Friday and Saturday. We're also downtown at Sage, Sarasota. Cool.
I love that little place.
We have a wedding reception there.
The last time I was there was for Southwest Event Leader Swell Industry when we did the speakeasy feel.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, and the newspaper
that was fun. I went to that.
Fun. Yeah. We sat together and we gambled at the table together. Yeah,
that's right.
We didn't really gamble. It was fake money, guys.
It was fake, yeah. But still, it was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So Sage, then we also have a holiday party at Moat Marine.
Do you go there often?
At Moat?
Marine? Yeah.
We used to be there often, but they've changed their event coordinators a couple times.
Oh, that is right. And their building, too.
Yeah, but... yeah, so, I mean, I haven't been there in a little bit, but I do see some leads or inquiries coming from them here and there. But this one, we have a holiday party, and then we're at Baker's as well. But, so that's just Friday and Saturday. We're off Sunday. Everybody's off. I'm
Yes.
so excited.
So what are you
excited.
going to do for a whole entire day on Sunday?
I
know you're going to work out.
I may work out. I don't know.
Okay.
I may work out. My wedding on Saturday, I'm actually not DJing the wedding.
What?
So we have our photo booth.
Uh-huh.
We have our cold sparks.
Uh-huh.
There's going to be a band during the actual wedding, and this is at Longboat Key Resort.
I love.
But they're
the
doing
band.
an after party.
Oh.
And I'm DJing the after party
Yes.
from 10 to midnight.
That's smart.
So we have our photo booth from, I want to say, like, let's just say 7 to 9 or
Yeah.
6 to 9. Cold Sparks for their grand exit. And then
After
I have to run over to do the after party. But the crazy thing is they're only allowing me like 30 minutes or like 45 minutes to set up for the after party.
Better be quick.
So
Can you set up while this one's happening at the other location?
Nope.
Oh,
because
okay.
it's a tavern and it's open to the public.
Oh.
So they won't allow me to set up.
Well, you know how it goes. You move fast.
Well,
It's a
I mean, I have to
smaller
be in
space,
three
right?
places. I have
So-
to be in 3 places at one time. So I'm a little nervous about
I'm
it.
cheering you on. You got this.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that is so fun though to do that. That's a unique idea to do an after party at like
Yeah.
your local pub or something.
Yeah, well, it's right. I think it's on their resort.
Oh,
They have like a little tavern thing on the
Nice.
resort. But
okay.
So-
and then Sunday workout. Watch
Sunday workout,
sports.
football, Eagles, you
Yeah.
know, doing well. Like it, love it. Just relax.
Somebody's got to win.
And then it's Thanksgiving week.
yeah,
And then it's Thanksgiving week, and then we've
We've
got
got nothing.
well, actually Monday, Tuesday. Just kidding. We have Monday and Tuesday weddings next week.
Oh
One's at
my.
Mixon's.
Who does that?
I see when I see like
mean-
middle of the week weddings, it's usually
Yeah.
teachers, and they do
Yes.
them
During their holiday
during the
breaks.
holiday breaks.
Yep.
So I'm
I
not
will
sure
agree
if
with
that's
that.
the case, but yeah. So Sunday off, but then Monday, Tuesday wedding, and then Black Friday we have 2 weddings.
Well, and I think for Thanksgiving, it's a little different than if you're doing it for Christmas, because Christmas, it's a little bit more of a niche. Like you have your places you go, you have your travel. For Thanksgiving, I don't feel like it's as big of a thing to ask people to come to a wedding on Thanksgiving and bring your family. I mean, it's probably
Yeah.
the same people you're going to be with anyway. So I don't feel like that's a big ask compared to asking for people to attend a wedding like Christmas.
Yeah.
Or the week between New Year's or New Year's Eve, which I think is a great time to do a wedding.
I would love. I mean, I have done New Year's Eve weddings.
Yeah.
One wedding that I would love to do is a Halloween wedding, and just
My
have
girlfriend
everybody
just got
dress up.
engaged, and she wants to do a Halloween wedding.
Have her call me.
Lindsay, shout out.
I would love to. I have done a Halloween wedding. It was actually in Nashville. I drove up to
Oh.
Nashville, did a Halloween wedding, but it wasn't Halloween themed. It was a
Oh.
beautiful wedding,
I
but it was
mean,
on Halloween.
On
and-
Halloween and not. Yeah, she would straight up have everybody like dress up.
Oh my God, that would be amazing. I would
That would be so much
absolutely
fun.
love
Could
it.
you imagine all of us doing Thriller as like a flash mob?
Yeah, that would be cool.
Okay, where's my Halloween people? I would plan that one.
Yep.
Bring me that.
Okay.
Come out of
I'm telling you,
retirement for
Brandy, you
that.
are coming out of retirement. God, you're gonna do it. All right. Well, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
So our topic for our podcast number 3, topic of the day,
Yes.
is, and we touched on this a little bit last week, but how to pick your dream team of vendors, of your wedding professionals that best, represent you and, yeah.
Your style and
So,
budget.
so we're looking to, pick your dream team, your starting lineup. So who
Yeah.
are the first 6, I guess, like, who are your top 6
Top 6.
wedding vendors or wedding professionals that you should reach out to? And then I guess we'll kind of go into like the hard questions that you should ask.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, number 1, I would imagine, is the venue.
Yes. Number 1. Now, the only time venue is not first is when you have a hot commodity, far booked out photographer or videographer that books out a couple years or a year and a half or whatever in advance, and that is your non-negotiable. Then photography trumps venue. But you really can't set your theme or your idea or your colors or anything until you pick your venue. Like you may think you
Or
want
your date.
Yeah,
I mean, the
anything,
date's the big
like
thing.
Anything.
It's-
So,
yeah.
so picking your venue, and that's one of the questions I feel like we've been getting a lot at the Bishop, is that people come in tour and they just assume that we have the date available, and they want to book, and let's confirm date first.
Yeah.
Always confirm date first before you even start those long, lengthy conversations. Do you have the date? That is number one. So yeah, venue, and then definitely moving into photography, videography, I think would be number 2, along with catering, and then followed by DJ.
Catering before DJ?
Yeah, because here's the thing. And I guess it depends on, I know you're thinking differently, but it depends on, again, the level of importance catering is to you and the level of importance a DJ and where they rank as far as how busy they typically are. If it's someone who's really busy, like TLS is always very busy, then you need to hit them up second after you do your venue and your photographer. You need to hit up your DJ. So it depends on if you're looking for a niche caterer. If you're looking for that and you know that they only take so many bookings or something of that nature, then you've got to rank the importance of how quick. And you can do it dually. You can say, okay, I've got my venue. Now these 3 I'm working on at the same time simultaneously. It's not like, okay, we booked our photographer, now move on to your DJ. You can do photographer, DJ, catering all at the same time and simultaneously.
Yeah.
So it's not that one is more important. It just depends on your requirements for what you need in regards to who you hit first.
Sure. So
and
those
knowing
are the,
that budget too.
So those are the top 3. Like those are the first
and
3.
your planner.
And then the planner. Well, so yeah, so venue, then photo.
Yes.
Oh, that's the
Photo
top
and
4,
video.
really. So photo, video,
DJ catering.
DJ catering. So
Planner.
then planner, and then you can get into like the florist. So that's
your 6.
That's your 6. So venue, photo, video, DJ catering, florist, and then the wedding planner should definitely be in there.
Yeah.
Kind of really, I mean, honestly, it depends on if you want a full planner.
Yes.
Or a month of or a day of. It really just depends. If you want a full wedding planner, then that would be the first thing.
That's first, because they can help weed out all those things when you're looking for a venue. They can search for that, and you can literally say, this is what I'm looking for, and they find out what the dates are, and they handle those conversations.
All right, so I'm going to pretend I am a groom or a bride, and I'm hiring Brandy Harlan wedding planner.
Best decision ever.
Best decision ever. So you're the first person I hire.
Yes.
I want to look at venues.
Perfect.
So what are some what are some questions that I should be asking the venues? Like, I mean, obviously price point is a big thing, but like what else?
So what I do with my clients is we have our own initial meeting, and I get a feel for what it is that you're looking for and what your budget is. And then I shop venues for you. Like, what area do you want to be in, so that I can comb it down to 3 to 5 total. And then the questions that I ask those venues are, what are my load-in times? Like, when can I get in?
Okay.
What's provided with this cost?
Real quick. That's actually really, I don't think a lot of
Nobody asks
couples ask that question at all.
Nope. They just assume they can have it all day.
Yeah, that's not the case at all. So
because some people have weddings, they have dual, like they may have a wedding in the morning in the ballroom, and you can't have morning time for setup. So if you're planning this big elaborate, 7-hour setup where all your florists and people are transforming a whole space, you don't have that time. So asking the load-in time is very important, because that really logistically sets the pace for everything else that you plan.
Right.
Obviously picking the date and asking what dates they have availability, and what are some dates. If you're stuck for a Saturday, like I only want a Saturday, okay, what Saturday before and after do you have as well?
Yeah.
So
and I imagine that because the way I see it for us, for entertainment, we're booked at least a year in advance. And I'd imagine for venues, it's probably a year and a half.
I have weddings out into 2025 at the Bishop. I think I have 7 or 8 booked in 2024.
In 24.
Like late 2024, and some into January 2025.
Dang.
And we're fine booking them out that far.
Yeah.
And like we talked at the last one, that's the best way to stretch your budget, as well as to plan far in advance. And that's also how you secure your best vendors. So
yeah, that's true.
If you really are like, I have to have these people and they're not available for your date, change your date. It's a date.
Plan
at the
for
end
a
of
later
it,
date.
Your vendors are going to be exactly that, the dream team that makes it all happen, whether that date comes and goes or not.
Yep, and I understand that, couples are very eager to have this big day, but definitely, you want to plan. Give yourself some time.
Exactly.
And if you want the perfect venue and you want your dream team of wedding professionals, I would say at least a year and a half.
Yeah, and like I said, we've had a lot of date people very set on dates this past week, and they did not book because we don't have their date available. But that wasn't a conversation. They just said, oh, "Okay, we're looking at this date," and then what we do is we have them come in and we do a proposal and we let them know, "Okay, here's the dates we do have available," or if they're asking us. So I would say be proactive and ask that question first, and then if this is the place you really want, pick a different date.
Yeah,
like it's. If this is your dream and this is your vision, the date, it needs to be flexible.
So date,
yes,
load-in times.
Load-in times. What do the costs include? Do we set up the tables and chairs? Do you have an event person on site? Are there credit card fees? When are payments due? Can I make changes to my rental? Can I add more spaces on?
Is this for the venue?
Yeah.
Okay.
So just asking those kinds of questions and also asking to read the contract.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Before you pay anything, read every contract.
I feel like you should read a contract before you pay anything.
You know what I mean? People just go ahead and call us with a deposit and they don't read the contract. And then they have questions of why they can't start their wedding at 4:00.
Oh, well.
Like, we're a museum.
That's on the couple.
Yeah. And so it's just having all that clarity. But that's where a planner comes in and can break those pros and cons. Pros and cons list will do you a wealth of good when you are booking your vendors too.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what you ask a venue.
All right. So photo, video. So, I mean, photo and video, there are some photo video teams, but majority of the time we see photography and then a separate videography team. Mm-hmm. So let's go with photography first, because that seems to be like the next most, like, usually venue, then it's photo.
Yeah, and I say that there's a lot of weight when it comes to photo because style matters.
Sure.
Just like you have a certain personality style when you dress and when you decorate your home or whatever, or when for holidays, like how do you do your tree and whatever. So that is the same for photographers, and they have a certain style.
Bright and airy and dark and moody.
Yeah, exact dark and moody, like they do, that's what they do, or more cinematic, more artistic. So if that's what you're looking for, and you know who you want, and that's exactly where you're headed, know what you're stepping into budget wise, because those that have those dates that are further out are going to cost you more because they're in great demand.
Yeah.
So asking the question too, because a photographer has a certain style. So say I'm the client and you're the photographer that I want to book. What happens if you're ill? Do you have a replacement that shoots the same? Do you have, or is it a friend of yours that you know is a great photographer, but their style is totally different?
Sure.
But I've been looking at all your things. Or will they shoot the same and then you'll edit it to match what your style is? Like, how does that work? If you fall ill, what's the replacement option?
And I've seen a lot of photography teams that I've worked with, that the really good ones, they have backup plans.
Exactly.
And actually any wedding professional that's solid, that knows what they're doing, that's been in this industry for quite some time, they have backup options. And I actually have an example. This past weekend, actually, one of my guys had a family emergency.
Yeah,
he was set up. He was actually at the wedding. It was actually at Mixon's, and he was set up. I got a phone call. I was at a wedding, and he said, "Hey, is there anybody on the team that's available? All they have to do is just come in. They can plug into my system. Everything's set up, ready to go. He already did the ceremony. It was during cocktail hour. Was able to get a hold of one of my other DJs, and they were able to get out there, and everything was great. Everything happened. Everything was flawless. The couple was absolutely awesome. They were understanding, and really, I mean, they probably wouldn't have even known, but I said, make sure you talk to the couple, let them know what's happening.
Yeah.
And everything out, no issues. I'm sure the guests didn't even know what happened.
No.
They just saw like, oh, that's a new face at the DJ booth, but they probably didn't even know.
They probably didn't realize that
there was a new face
supposed to happen.
Right.
Yeah. Like that wasn't planned. Like, oh, okay, that's the MC ceremony person, and now they have like a DJ.
Yeah.
That just
So
came in.
it's solid to have backup options.
Absolutely.
So So photo teams that are booked way in advance, obviously they're in high demand. There's a lot of really good photographers here in Sarasota and Bradenton.
Yeah.
So any other questions?
So I would also ask for reviews.
Yep.
Reviews I feel are very important across the board. However, when your expectation is that you're going to have your photos back by a certain time and that doesn't meet the expectation, and you read other reviews where, oh, the photos got delayed, but they were amazing. You have to weigh your costs. Are you going to be impatient, or are you going to be just, I'm going to be patient if it takes a little longer to get the perfection that I want, then you need to strap on that patience hat. So making sure that you read recent reviews, not ones that are from a year ago even. Like, you need recent within the last 6 months, 3 months, because if they don't have a review on their available to you and it's been a year, means they haven't been working.
Ooh.
Or something's been going on. And
yeah.
I don't care what any wedding professional says, we get rusty. It's like riding a bike, but once you get into it,
I'm telling you,
we still get a little rusty.
When it's summertime, and we're out, like, we don't have a wedding for a month, 4 weeks.
You're like, wait,
and then I come back and I'm like, how do I put all this stuff together? What do I do?
What plugs in where?
What do I do with my hands?
Wait, do I talk now?
Yeah.
Like, what? Okay, wait. Oh, that's how that's supposed to go.
You definitely get rusty.
You do. It's just like anything else, and because we dedicate so much time throughout the year and we only get a few months off, we completely shut off. Like,
one month off. That's really it.
So we shut off that world, and we're like, okay, I can breathe. So if they haven't done business in a year, that's a red flag. Yeah. And then videos and pictures of their work. So I always say you want to hear a video of your officiant speaking. You also want to hear a video of your DJ and MC speaking, because they could be, they could be spinning, doing all the things, making all the wonderful music. But when they talk, it's like, oh, I didn't want to hire a radio DJ voice or a canned, like, telecommercial kind of voice. So you really want to know what they sound like, not just in conversation, because that's a different kind of voice than when they're performing. And you can attest to that.
Yeah. So wait, so you're saying that that's something that you should ask for entertainment?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we haven't gotten there yet.
Oh,
so we're still
moving on.
Photo
Sorry.
and video.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So yeah, you're getting ahead of the game here. So video,
pictures, definitely of
photo. You obviously, because that, I mean, that's
videos,
I mean, the pictures is probably the first thing you'll see, because you're going to be like, oh, I like that style. And then you go in to look at I think the first thing that you want to look at for any photographer is their photos.
Yes. Instagram is a big way to figure that out.
Photos, and then reviews. And then, I mean, a big question would be like, how, what's the turnaround time?
Yeah. Do I get a sneak peek?
Yeah.
What does that look like?
Yeah.
Is that a 24-hour time frame? Like, how busy are you?
Because and even the busy ones, they still, I don't know why, they still turn it around.
Yeah. But sometimes when busier seasons happen, you need to have that expectation that, okay, they did 4 weddings this weekend. My sneak peek's happening like Tuesday.
Yeah.
So just being honest as far as that goes.
And then with video is roughly the same thing. You want to see some past videos and their style. Like, me personally, I love the cinematic look.
Yes.
I definitely, when that day comes,
I want it to feel like a movie.
Yeah, I want it to. Honestly, I want it to be I want it to be a highlight reel, but I want it to kind of be like a commercial. I can't think.
Like a movie preview.
Thank you.
Almost.
A movie preview.
Like that evokes emotion and excitement, that gives you
all the craziness.
Gives you the story, but it also, leaves you to just feel warm and fuzzy at the end.
Yeah.
Because I always like to watch them to see how and what the bride and groom or the bride and bride or partners are doing at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun to see, like, oh, at the same time they were doing this at the same, but different places. And so it's kind of fun to see, like, how their faces are and what their emotions are and how they're spending their time pre-ceremony.
I highly recommend adding a video team videographer to your wedding. And I've been seeing that more and more, which is good.
And I have a personal story related to videography, and that's one of my things that I tell people is, if you have to cut anything, don't cut video, and I'll tell you why. And it's a somber story, but it gets the point across. So, my husband and I have been married 14 years, and he's lost both of his parents. His dad was lost in 2009, and his mom in 19.
Okay.
19, 20, 21, 22, 19. My mom passed away in 14. I still have my father, but I lost my stepfather. So, and I lost my brother. So within 2 years of of itself, we lost 4 family members. And we lost his dad in the first year of our marriage. So all of those people were in our wedding video. And that was a gift his parents purchased for us.
Wow.
And at the time I was like, that's a lot of money to spend. And it was probably not as much as people spend now, but that was 14 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, man, this would make a difference somewhere else in our budget really well. However, it's what they wanted to gift us. It's what they gave his brother. And so we went with it. And we're like, great. So we picked out the videography company and we watch our wedding video every year. And for us, it captures his dad's emotions, his dad's voice. It captures my mom's emotions, my mom's voice and how she was, my stepdad, my younger brother who passed away unexpectedly. There's a video of him just busting a move on the dance floor and just dancing his heart out.
Yeah.
And so for us, it's a remembrance, and we get to look back because we don't always have video readily and available, but I can always pop that video in. And so not that any of that is going to happen to our couples, but eventually it's going to happen, and you're going to want those videos of grandma and grandpa or, Aunt Joe or whoever, and it's always forever captured in video. So pictures are wonderful and amazing and great. Don't misunderstand, but video captures a different level.
Yeah.
And so
it brings it to life per se.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is really cool.
So there's my little plug on video.
Oh, thank you.
Shout
out to all the videographers out there.
Yes, you are important.
All right, let's go with entertainment. So DJ, bands, entertainment all around.
Yes. So like I was saying earlier, before I jumped a little bit of excitement. So I always tell my couples, definitely listen to how the person sounds on when they're emceeing and what that looks like and what that sounds like, how they dress, because I've seen some DJs show up in penguin suits to a casual. That's out. Like cummerbunds and matching vests and ties. No, don't do that.
No.
Unless that's a requirement of the company you work for, but then I think that's an overall discussion of how to fix.
Well, then that company, I feel
better.
I've seen that, and I feel like that company is just outdated.
Yeah, and you look outdated, and I would not book someone whose whole entire crew wears the same outfit in their photos.
Yeah, I literally just had a conversation with a potential bride and couple this morning. Had a phone call, had a bunch of questions. And had them go to my website.
Yeah.
And this is apparently, I don't know why. Anyway, they went to my website and they said that this is one of the reasons why we decided to call you is because your website is awesome.
Yes.
And it captures everything. You get to see all the DJs. I have videos of majority of my DJs on the team. So you can kind of get an idea of their personality, how they might sound on the mic. We don't really have any video or audio of us on emceeing anything unless it's from
like
an
the
event.
Entrance or something. Yeah.
If we posted something on social media, but on the website, we have videos kind of like an interview in a sense.
Yeah.
So you get to know the DJ, you get to meet the DJ. That was one of the big things was they noticed that my website was just really, they said it was much better than majority of everybody else that they looked at.
Yeah.
So, shout out to myself. But
but you've got to really, what you're trying to sell should be what you're trying to sell, and it should be front facing.
Yeah.
So on all aspects, on all levels, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, or your website, you really should have all the ways that people can get to know you, because then when they meet you or they talk to you on the phone, it's like you've met before and you're friends.
Yeah.
They should really feel like, I've always said, your DJ should feel like an old friend that is really good at having conversations with you, and it's easy and knows your style from a simple conversation.
Yeah. 100%. And that should be one of the other questions is, or not questions, but definitely look at the most recent reviews.
Yes.
That's been huge. And a shout out to DJ Joey on my team,
whoop, whoop.
My right-hand man. We've gotten quite a few. I get awesome reviews about him all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. But these past 2 weeks, I've been seeing a trend for reviews that he's gotten, and I'm actually taking a note. I'm taking a page out of his book.
Yeah.
And this is what you had mentioned about really getting to know the couple and getting to know the DJ. But Joey, the moment he gets on site, he goes straight to the bride and or groom. He's like, "Hey, my name's Joey. I'm your DJ tonight. Can I get you guys anything? Can I get you a drink? Can I get you this, that? No? All right, cool. So he'll go and set up. And then right after the ceremony, he'll go up, hey, can I get you guys a drink? Like, he's just catering to them all the time.
Yeah.
And I mean, granted, that should be, I mean, that's not our job.
No.
But he goes above and beyond. And that was one of the things that the couple said, that he goes above and beyond. He was catering to them the entire time. He would always ask if they would need a refill on drinks. And that was 2 separate weddings.
Yeah.
And I've seen that in multiple of his reviews. And so I called him, I was like, what is this? What are you
what
doing?
Are you doing?
Yeah, I need to know, because I'm not perfect, and I'm trying to learn, and I'm trying to, get better myself.
Of course.
And yes, I own TLS Entertainment, but I can always learn things from my guys and my girls.
Yeah.
My DJs. And so this is one thing that really just, it like shook me in a good way. I was like, hey, I need to start doing this. Like, I feel like I have a good rapport with my couples in general.
Yeah.
But I've never done that.
Yeah.
So thank you, Joey, for that.
I love that. And usually, that's what we do as a planner. Like, we're constantly on that. Like, okay, what can I get you? What do you need? What can I help with?
But it was also, it was just like building that rapport and building that just getting to know them on a deeper level, really, or just showing them that they're the VIPs.
Yeah, and he's really good at that. Like, he is super personable, easy to approach, easy to have he never looks nervous or anything like that. He's just always on it.
Yeah.
And I can see where that would definitely be a good review that would come in for him, and that people are saying that about him for sure.
And so one question that I always ask my couples.
Yes.
That sometimes they'll ask me, because they don't really know. A lot of times they're like, I don't really know what kind of questions to ask. I'm like, all right, well, let me turn the tables around on you. And I'll ask you a question. What style of music do you like? What do you listen to in the car?
Yes.
What kind of music do you listen to in the car?
What are your presets on?
What are your presets? What radio stations? What do you listen to on Spotify? Do you have a Spotify list of music that you're always jamming out to? What is that? What does that look like? Send those to me.
Yeah.
But even if before we get booked, I'll tell them, go on to my website, check out the team. But I also want to learn a little bit about you, so I can give suggestions on who I think would be the best DJ for you.
Absolutely.
Based on your style, based on your personality. If you like country music, great. I've got a couple DJs that have a niche in country. Most DJs don't.
Yeah.
And that's actually like a big thing for us. That's how it started for me, was country music. Joey he was the resident DJ at White Buffalo and Joyland for quite some time with me when I was the line dance instructor. So we both have vast knowledge in country music. I also have another DJ that actually is he does acoustic guitar and he sings country, and he knows country, Jeremy.
Yeah.
So I think, and then I also have other DJs that are really, have a lot of knowledge in EDM.
Oh, that's my thing.
And
give me some of that.
Right. So, so that's what I like to ask is, what kind of music do you guys like? And I mean, majority of my team can adjust as needed, but I always like to make sure that personality wise they match up and music wise they match up.
Yeah.
It may not be both all the time, but that's, I think, a huge question to ask to make sure that
you guys work well together.
You work well together. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. I think after we're going through these, I'm going to flip the script a little bit and offer the vendors questions they should be asking clients.
Yeah.
Because it goes both ways.
Yeah, and some weird questions that I really don't think couples need to be asking, especially for DJs. Do you bring your own speakers? Do you have your own equipment? If a DJ does not have his own equipment,
just don't,
run away.
Yeah, just don't even.
And I mean, he may be giving you a great deal, but there's a reason for it.
There's a reason. You get what you pay for. Remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's no specials. Like, I don't know. I think it's weird to, I got a special. Well, if they got a special, it means that they need more bookings.
Well,
I mean, unless they're starting out. Like, okay, if you're starting out vendor and you don't have a lot of reviews and you don't have a lot of whatever, be easy on them as far as a client goes, give them a chance, because had somebody not given us a chance, either of us a chance, we wouldn't be here.
Right.
And so we're not saying that everybody should have like this stellar long resume of reviews and stuff, but you should definitely, if you're vibing with them and you've asked all the tough questions and they come to the plate ready to answer them, and they've got their game plan on, or they've been, with another company for a little while and now they're starting their own thing, give them a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are any other questions do you think that should be asked of DJ or any entertainment?
I think some of the questions that forget is the microphone, wireless mic, lapel, mic stand, an extra speaker question gets missed. So if there's like multiple areas, like if you have ceremony in one spot, reception in another,
that's a good question.
Where are you providing a speaker over there? Are you providing it wirelessly? Like what does that look like?
I guess that is a good question. A lot of the times, what I've seen with other companies is that you have your main, the package deal is based on just the reception reception itself, and then they have an additional cost for ceremony and cocktail hour, which for me, the only additional cost would be is if the ceremony is off-site, like somewhere else.
If you're relocating.
If we're relocating, but we always have an additional speaker.
Yeah.
If it's on site, it's not a big deal. Like,
unless it's really far on site.
That's a different.
That happened once. If you have to take a golf cart or something of that nature to get to the other location, and it becomes a big hassle, and so it's more of a let me know this so I can figure out the logistics and get my mind right.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then also, the officiant will say, every officiant I feel like is different, and they may want a handheld, they may want a stand, they may want a lapel. So what does that look like? And listen to your DJ and your entertainment company clients when you're booking them, when they tell you that a lapel mic or a headset mic, around the ear mic is not good. It's
outdoor.
It's not good outdoor. Listen to them.
99% of these ceremonies here in Florida and in Sarasota and Bradenton are outdoor.
Yeah. And
99%.
your officiant may say, I have to have that. Well,
too bad.
And they're probably used to being in a church where it's different, and they have the earpiece and it's their own and it's tuned to them, but they're indoors. So there's that factor of outdoor. So listen to your professional when
ideally, we don't want to have mic stands in pictures or video. Like, we get that photographers, we get that videographers. Lapel is the best, but when it comes to outdoor ceremonies, they're not the greatest.
Exactly.
There's a lot of feedback. There's a lot of popping in and out, and you don't want that. That just creates a lot of distraction.
Yeah.
And
so that's a conversation to have well in advance with your officiant. Like, okay, here's what we have. We have a handheld microphone. So are you using an iPad? Do you need something to put whatever you're reading? Like, what is your what is that? How does that mesh together? And because one hand might be busy holding a microphone.
Right, yeah. And I think that another important question, then we can move on, is how much time do you need for setup?
Yes.
Like how early do you set up?
Yeah.
For us, for TLS Entertainment, we try. I personally like to get on site 3 hours, maybe more.
And that goes back to the question of asking your venue what the lead-in time is.
Yeah. If I can get, so.
If you can get in early, because that just makes it easier for you. It gives you a moment to just really think everything through, take your time, and then decompress, and then get that second wind and be like, game time.
Yep.
Yeah.
True.
I see you do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good, though.
Thanks.
Yeah. And sometimes he brings me a smoothie in between.
Catering.
Okay, so catering.
I know nothing on catering.
So given the, the world as it is now, post-COVID, staffing has changed a lot. And I see that at the venue. So I see a lot of the same caterers, but I don't see a lot of the same teams. So asking the question, has the team, or is there a team that you have that works at this venue a lot? I would like someone who is like a captain, or that has ran a group or ran catering at this venue, and they're familiar. And you can ask that question, because some venues are a little bit more complex and different, and maybe your meal plating is different. Maybe it's stations, and maybe it's knowing the lay of the land and where the trash cans are and the trash bags are and where the trash goes, or whatever that little things might be to make catering's life easier and also your life. So asking what the team might look like, leading up to, like, is there a group that always goes to this venue because they're they just know it's in and outs. So also asking about a tasting. Is there a charge for a tasting? A lot of companies will have certain tastings on certain nights. They'll have an open house. You might not be tasting the food that you wanted to choose. So is that an option? Is it a personalized tasting? And how much is it? And how far in advance can I do that? That's a good question. A lot of people love certain recipes a certain way. And catering, it depends, if it's very important to you, or it's based on cultural differences, or where you're from and you want a specific meal because of a cultural tradition, then ask the caterer, are you capable, or are you able, or have you done this in the past? And what does that look like? And can we, again, taste it ahead of time? It's not going to be exact, because grandma's love into your spaghetti sauce is a lot different than somebody else. So having that, as your preset, knowing going in, that's not going to be exact, but and maybe it's not a time to do that at your wedding. Maybe you should do that at a rehearsal dinner instead.
Do you see more buffet or plated?
I see more buffet, but I wish I saw more plated.
Why?
So buffet to me is just run of the mill, same thing. Everybody's up. It's managing the crowd, it's managing the in and the out, calling tables, things of that nature. And it's the same old at every wedding. I've seen it so many times that it's kind of passe for me. So a plated dinner, I feel like, it's like an orchestra. It's like watching an orchestra, because everybody comes out. You've got platters of food. Everybody's getting their food. The empty trays are going back. More trays are coming out. And everybody's eating at the same time, which helps your timeline. Well, a good catering company will have everybody fed within 10, 15 minutes. We had 375 people fed at Michael's on East within 20 minutes.
Again, that's Michael's on East, though.
But I mean, that's the question you need to be asking. That's the expectation. And I know caterers that time themselves. So there are caterers that know how long it takes them. And if they get it, like Cornerstone and Company, Shannon, when we worked with her at Mixon's and it was a plated dinner, we were like, all right, go time, set the clock. And we would all pitch in, everybody do what they're supposed to do, be in their spots, replacing trays, taking empty ones back in. And the goal was to get it all done, 120 people within under 5 minutes. And we most likely always did.
Brandy, you had that whole team.
We were a well-oiled machine.
I loved it when you were there.
Good times. So, I prefer a plated meal. And then what happens when it's all a plated meal at the same time, it allows for your catering team to be more efficient. It allows for your planning team to be more efficient. It allows for your DJ team to be more efficient, because everybody's doing the same thing at the same time. Nobody's like having to rush over and take photos because you're going around now welcoming tables, but no, you're eating with everybody else. They're not hanging out at your table and talking to you while you're trying to eat, because their plate is sitting there waiting for them. They're not waiting to go through the buffet, and they're got idle time in hand, and they want to come bug you while you're eating.
So that should have been on the How to Be a Good Guest last week, or the last podcast. Don't
talk to them while they're eating.
Don't talk to the bride and groom. Let them eat.
Yes.
They're hungry, and you don't want the bride and or groom to become hangry.
Yeah, the couple should just enjoy, even if they're not big eaters, it's their moment to just settle down,
relax, and then literally take everything in.
Yes, and the planner should definitely be there to help kind of guard a little bit. Say, hey, did you see that we got the photo booth open? Why don't you go do that?
And then that's also the planners. I mean, and where the planner and the DJ work well together, and the DJ can say, hey, not like this though, but hey, leave the couple alone. Let them eat. Go bother somebody else.
Yes, go find a drink. So asking catering those questions. And then, is there travel fees? Because maybe they're stationed at a certain area. How far will they travel? What does that look like? And how does the hot food get there? If the first shift of your catering team, ask them, are they doing the silverware for you? Are they doing the napkins for you? Do you need to pre-fold them? What does that look like? And the second round, are they bringing the hot food, or is the first round bringing the hot food? And how is it staying hot? Are you cooking it on site? So
many questions.
So many things go into catering, and it all goes back to making sure, because the top things that guests talk about and complain about are food, music, and alcohol. Sometimes they complain about the venue, but there's not much to go. I mean, unless it's like inconvenient and they have to walk through mud or
True.
horse manure. But other than that, I mean, there's not much they can really do about that. But they will complain about food. And if the food is not on point, those questions matter. And whether the food is coming in hot or they're cooking it on site, or if it's coming early and sitting in hot boxes, what does that look like? Also, is gratuity added?
All right, so I'm writing down notes,
At
but
the same time, I said
but let's get back to that in just a minute.
Yeah.
We're gonna ask about tipping in just a minute,
Yeah.
but let's finish off with florist.
florist. So
This is gonna round out the 6.
yes. So number 6 is how fresh are their flowers is a big thing. And I would look again at the reviews. How long do their flowers last? I have seen many florists that have top names that are busy, busy, busy. And I personally received flowers for them that don't last more than 3-4 days. And then I've seen some small mom and pop shops where their flowers don't cost as much. They don't have a bigger name, but their flowers are lasting a good 2 weeks. From personal experience, just receiving bouquets. So how are they getting their flowers? What can they lead you in the direction of your ideas, but also can they offer a less expensive rose compared to like maybe an expensive rose, but it looks similar because it's in season or out of season. So them being a connoisseur of what looks good, when is it in season, and is there a similar option that fits my budget?
Yeah, I'm also like a very visual person.
Yeah.
So I want to see, hey, do you have any examples? Because
Yes.
I
You got
don't
one in
even
the
know.
back you can show me?
I don't know how to give you like a vision without seeing something.
Yeah.
I can say, hey, this is my like style or theme of the night.
Yeah.
And
So have that Pinterest page ready for florals.
maybe
big
that's
time.
what it is. Have
I
that-
think Pinterest comes into play big time when it comes to your colorscapes and your florals,
Yeah.
because I can show you, like I had a bride who wanted cherry blossoms, and I'm like, well, you're not getting married in a time frame where there's cherry blossoms. So if you want them, that's going to cost you about 10 times more. What's your floral budget? Oh, not that much. Well, then we got to figure something else out. And so having a florist that's going to be honest with you and what that looks like, and also give you suggestions to the type of bouquets that you should carry. Not all of your bridesmaids are shaped the same. Not all your groomsmen are shaped the same. So having that bouquet that contours to each person is important, and having something universal that fits everybody.
True.
But yours might be a cascade and theirs might be, a bouquet, a smaller bunch. So, and budget is big when it comes to florals. Big
I
time.
mean,
And the best way to extend your budget with a florist is to repurpose. So the question is, do you have somebody on site, if it's not my planner, that can repurpose my archway flowers onto centerpieces?
okay, I see that happen often.
Yes.
Yeah.
So your planner should be able to cut it down and put it where it needs to go, like on the head table or on cocktail tables. And once cocktail hour is over, move the flowers inside and put them at the bar, put them in the bathrooms, so that it looks as if there's a constant theme, but you're just repurposing it, saving you money.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that I've seen that happen a lot, especially at like Lakewood Ranch Country Club. I noticed that if there's florals out at the ceremony, they'll bring it upstairs during cocktail hour, and the guests won't even notice that they're
Nope.
yeah.
Because they're going to see it for the first time with the flowers already in place.
Yep.
So definitely repurposing and asking if there's an extra cost to someone staying on site if it's too complex for your planner to do. And if it's not just them cutting it down and placing it, then what's that cost for a florist to stay post-ceremony to reposition? And is there a minimum? Some florists have a minimum that they won't even talk to you or touch your wedding unless you meet their $2,500 or $3,000 minimum. And if that's not your budget, then you just need to know to keep it moving. So asking that question is important.
True. So we're gonna
top 6.
Sheesh.
Lot of
that's
questions.
A lot of questions. Good information though. Definitely good information. And to round out this how to pick your dream team, once the dream team has been picked and you had your wedding and the night is over, how does tipping work? Do you tip the venue? Like, I mean, do you tip? I mean, yeah. So like, let's just go through each of your top 6.
Makes sense. Yeah.
I guess it depends.
Yeah.
Because at Mixins, you have your planners there.
Yes.
So, but like, let's go with like the Powell Crosley. So
Okay.
it's, there's really, I mean, you have like your event person there, but they're not doing anything. I mean, not that they're not doing anything, but they open it up and they allow the wedding planners to come in and do their thing.
Yes.
Do you tip at the venue people?
So here's my personal opinion on that. So like for instance, at Mixins, you have one person set up team who's setting up all your tables and chairs. He rarely gets a thank you, but he's making sure that everything's clean, wiped down, the grass and the grounds are blown off. He's doing a lot of prep that's pre-hand that you don't see,
Sure,
but he counts. And most of the time, I would say that those people that are either watching over the venue and just making sure you don't burn it down, that are dealing with the disgruntled people that at the end of the night that you don't see them saying, hey, by the way, this still needs to be done or that needs to be done, because they have a job to do, and they're met with like, hostility or whatever it might be because people are just ready to go and they're tired.
Sure.
Like it's been a long day. Those people typically don't get paid a lot of money. And so being able to just throw them like $20-$40 and a thank you note or like giving them a gift card or something of that nature will make all the difference, because their job is equally as hard, because they have to enforce rules or make everything look really stellar and amazing before everybody else comes and does their thing.
sure.
They're
Okay.
kind of a forgotten vendor,
Yeah,
I would say.
but
say. They're very important to making sure you get your deposit back at the end of the night and making sure everything looks great at the beginning of the day to keep your team from having to clean up or rearrange or put extra things on their plate when their plate is already full for the day.
Okay.
So it's a forgotten person.
Photo, video.
Absolutely.
What, like, do you tip them a percentage? Is there like a certain amount?
I would do a percentage, and it would be after I get my photos.
After. Okay, well, true. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, because
so once you get the finished
if you
product,
throw them a little something that night as like, thank you so much. Like, it was so easy to work with you. You've been planning with us for a year and a half. We really appreciate you. And if you want to throw them a gift card or something after the photos are delivered or an extra tip, then absolutely. Like you could split it into two. How
would you suggest tipping entertainment?
Absolutely do that as well, because and I, as a planner, would never, I tried not to hand out tips until the end of the night, especially if it's vendors I haven't worked with. If it's a DJ I haven't worked with, I'm going to need you to bring it and perform and do what you're supposed to do and not jack anything up. And then if you did jack something up or it was not good or I got a lot of complaints, I will go to the couple and say, is this still good to hand out?
Yeah, I was going to ask you, like, do you
half it? What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Because I don't want them thinking the next day like, oh, we gave them a tip for what?
Yeah.
Like
I've actually, so I've gotten those cards. I've gotten tips before, like, as I'm setting up, the planner will come up like, here, this is from the couple. I'm like, oh, thank you. And my thing is I will never
open it.
I will never open it. That's bad juju.
That's bad juju.
Bad juju. I will not open it.
Because it sets the tone.
I will not open it until after the wedding. But I'm like, how do they know if I'm going? And so, like, after, like, I'll read the note, like, thank you so much for rocking our party. And I'm thinking to myself, you wrote this before. Yeah, I rocked it, but how did you know I was going to? Like, I could have messed something up.
Confidence well before.
So, so do you suggest a certain amount for DJs or entertainment?
A percentage as well.
Just a percentage?
Yeah, I think across the board it's a percentage.
Off of the like total bill?
Off of the total bill. And here's the thing. If they are a one-person standalone company, so for instance, at Mixins, we were subcontracted, right? But we weren't, we were paid within, like, whatever the client paid Mixins. So if they're coming in off site and the venue's not paying them or whatever it might be, and it's like, this is my price and it's just me and maybe one or two other assistants, that tip should be a little bit more than if they are included within your totals maybe at the venue. And I say that because the venue's handling a lot of stuff already for that person, and they're getting paid either an hourly wage to work their 9 to 5 or whatever with the venue and then cover weddings. It's a little different. The tip is great, but I feel like if you're a mom and pop by yourself, you're dedicating every ounce of energy that you have in your life and to building this. And so as much as, and I'm saying that even though I was hired through a venue, and I'm saying that because I was also by myself too. So having that extra thought to care and think, oh, okay, you know what? They're building their business, or they are, this is all they do, and they've been in business a little while, and they're getting their feet wet, and this is their bread and butter. This goes towards their grocery bill.
Yeah.
It's not like a little slush fund for them.
Right.
So also separate your tips out too. Like if it's a planner and assistant, separate those out. If it's a DJ and an MC, separate those
or
out.
DJ and photo booth.
Photo booth, separate them
So,
out.
as far as entertainment wise, like I appreciate you, because not everybody, suggests to the couple as a planner. I mean, most planners I would think, well,
I have a list.
Yeah,
I have a gratuity cheat sheet that I give all my clients.
We'll suggest tips for wedding professionals. For me personally, because I've had questions like I've seen questions out there. Do you tip the DJ? And my thing is, if it's the owner of the company and they're the ones DJing your wedding, I personally don't feel that it's 100% necessary.
I can agree with that.
To tip the DJ if he's the owner and he's the one DJing, because I mean, you probably you paid you had a good investment with him.
Or there's a premium rate to having the owner as well already.
Yeah, there's a premium rate. However, if you feel that they went above and beyond and absolutely killed your wedding and did an amazing job, then you can leave a tip. I mean, I will never say, oh, actually, I'll take that back. Anytime somebody goes to give me cash or anything, I'm like, no, it's fine. I'm bad at like receiving like tips or money. But if you give me a card, I'm like, oh, thank you, because I don't have to.
It's uncomfortable sometimes.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, I will typically I will never reject or a tip, but if it's one of my team members that's DJing, then by all means I would tip appropriately based on how well they did.
Yes.
So if it's not the owner, then yes, definitely tip. If it is the owner that's DJing, you don't necessarily need to. It's not expected. Not expected, but very well appreciated.
Yeah. So and then it's truly based on skills and what you brought to the table. It's not based on I have to.
Sure.
You want it to be something that they want to do. Yeah. And then when it comes to what's next? Catering.
I mean, definitely catering. I mean, it's like it's like a restaurant.
And here's the thing. You may see on your bill a gratuity, but I would ask the question, how does that get split up? Does that go to my team that's there, or is there a cost is there a money that comes out of that and then it's distributed? Does the captain get more than everybody else so that you can fill in after whatever is put on your bill? You can have extra. And I would separate the captain, the rest of the catering team divided by however many people there are.
Sure.
What about your bartenders?
Well, I mean, typically, what I see a lot is the bartenders have a tip jar out there anyway. So,
however, I've seen. So, and this is where knowing your guests is a very important. Are your guests good tippers? Are they gracious? Do they appreciate hospitality? When you go out to them, are you embarrassed when they write out there like, oh, that was embarrassing? So you know who those people are, and I always tell my clients, I can ask the bartenders how they're doing, and they'll be very honest with me because I have that relationship with how is it going? How are tips? Oh, it's a little slow or whatever. And then we just have it waiting.
Yeah.
And we make that determination. However, there's going to be people that don't tip. Your guests, if it's like beer and wine, they're not really getting a lot of tips going. If it's liquor, then they're going to get some tips going.
Sure.
So, just think about that. They're still providing a service. And if they're working through a venue, whatever you paid for them by the hour is really not what they're making per hour. So think about that as well. Make up that little bit of a difference. It's a service at the end of the day. There's a lot of setup that goes into it when you're a bartender, and ice and hauling things and icing. And they're there probably a couple hours prior than you think that they are too. Mm-hmm. And then they have to close it all down and make sure everything's good. So I think tipping them is important.
Okay. And then last but not least, the wedding planner.
So for me, it's an uncomfortable conversation as well.
Of course.
And I don't really have like a basis or a percentage.
Not that you would.
It's a passion. And so for me, if you like, and for me, I'm like, some people have bought me my favorite kind of alcohol, or they've gotten me a cup with my name on it that I still have today, or they've got me a dinner gift card or something like that. For me, it's appreciated. It's not expected. It's just really, it's appreciated because we're pulling 16 to 17 hours that day. And, like I said, if it's through another company, you can appreciate them with like gift cards or, you know, a personalized cup or something like that of that nature that's thoughtful,
Sure.
that you put some time and energy into. But as far as their staff goes, I would say, you know, have some funds for their staff for sure. But
Well, there you go.
it's a awkward like thing.
Yeah.
Being the planner to ask for, you know.
Well,
I
not
don't
that you would ask for,
we don't
but
ask
you're
and it's
telling,
unexpected,
you know,
but
we're unveiling
it's
things.
truly, truly, honestly, it's really appreciated. And I will tell you that there are, I am Facebook friends with 90% of my clients that I did weddings for. And when I see their posts or something like that or whatever, sometimes because they say, I'll tip you later, or, oh, I've got your tip, I'll bring it to you. I remember those people. And when they don't come back, I still know who they are.
Yeah.
Don't promise. Just don't. I mean, because then it's just like, oh, like, don't say, oh, I'm going to bring you your tip to the office or I'm going to get it to you. But I remember that. I don't remember if you didn't tip at all, like whether you did or didn't. I don't remember that, but I remember that you promised.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember that you said you were going to do it and that you were very like over the top about, oh my gosh, you did amazing. I've got your gift for you, your tip for you. I really want to take care of you, blah, blah, blah. And then I don't see you ever again. I remember you. I know your name. It's weird to think that, but it's because it's the promise of really, and it could have just been a card with nothing in it.
Yeah.
Like you didn't even have to give me money, but you promised to.
Just a thank you.
A thank you. And you didn't. And that probably makes you feel like, but did they really love me?
Yeah.
So.
Well, there you go.
And then last but not least, and I think this is probably a podcast that we can do later is, and we'll probably put this on the list of things to do, is vendors, how to pick your right client. How to pick your client, because I don't think vendors should say yes to every client that comes along.
Oh yeah, that's definitely different. That's going to be for our wedding professionals.
Yes,
so that'll be strictly for
towards them, because you don't have to say yes to everyone. And I think we'll get some vendors in here and we'll ask them those questions about how they pick their clients.
Mm-hmm.
So yep. Now that we've told you who your dream team is, we can bring dream team people in and you can meet some of them.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Brandy, it's been a pleasure.
Yes, as always.
Happy belated birthday to you. I'm glad you survived.
Scorpio season, y'all.
Yep.
I celebrate all month.
Oh, of course you do. Duh.
That's how it goes.
This is the Scoop Weddings Unveiled. Tim Schaus, TLS Entertainment, your premier DJ, and of course the wonderful and beautiful Brandy Harlan.
Thank you.
Your awesome wedding planner who is retired, who is going to be coming back out of retirement. She doesn't know.
For a Halloween wedding.
Shoot. You can also see her at Bishop Museum up in Bradenton.
Yep.
Y'all, that's going to do it for us today. Until next time, we out.
Peace.
Holla.